Hey there. What have we got here in the studio today then? These are a series of very small paintings. These are all 10 by 15 centimeters, and they are explorations. Pleasures of using paint, all sorts of stuff. And as you can see, I put some of them up in frames when I like the result, and then what I'm doing at the moment is going through a review of some of the things that I think might be worth presenting, for example. And what are they? Well, at the end of a painting day, which might have been very focused, I'm doing specific things and so on. At the end of it, I've not only got paint left on the palette, which would be an absolute crime to waste, but I also feel like being very, very free and just not having to think. And so I approached this very, very quickly, and I pick up these postcards. Well, actually, they're photographs. It goes back to, 25 years ago, even more, when I started doing photography, analog photography at the time. And I was really crap at it. And I could never seem to quite get the result that I could see in my mind's eye, and I ended up with all these failed photographs I kept them all. And there's one of the boxes, for example, of all these photographs. I even photographed stuff from the TV and just randomly things out the window, or I don't know what. And I kept them all, and I thought, well, I'm going to use them to make these kind of free-flowing sketches, as it were, and and I started doing this I think about 20 or odd years ago, and what I didn't know at the time was that Gerhard Richter had done this, and not only done it, but done it fantastically well, as he does everything, the horrible man. Not really, Gerhard. Love you to bits. And when I found out that he'd been doing it, I stopped, really. And why did I stop? Well, it was pretty stupid, really, because I thought, no, originality. Someone's done it so much better than me. Can't go around doing the same thing. And all this, of course, is true. But is anything ever original anyway? And besides, I like doing it, and it gives me ideas for other types of paintings, which I'll come to in a minute. But I could say, well, yeah, Gerhard Richter's done that really, really well, and Leonardo da Vinci drew cats really well, and Francis Bacon painted terror and beauty combined perfectly. But then what? You'd never do anything if you thought like that. So, and besides, Gerhard didn't make that one, and he didn't make this one, and so on and so forth. And anyway, so it's interestingly, you can actually see sometimes the photograph underneath, which interacts with the paint surface, not only in shine and sheen and so on, but also brings in certain imagery. And so here, for example, there's a small one that actually was one of the first ones I ever made, and it's actually a photograph of the desk I had in my studio at the time, with a small painting that I'd already made, based in itself upon a Hitchcock film. So I liked the double play between film, my photograph of it, then a painting of that sort of convoluted sort of thought process, as it were. And then, well, actually, I mean, I started looking at some of these, and they always brought up words of sculpture into my mind. Well, often anyway. And so then I started making small-scale paintings, often with words that I would associate with sculpture. So, you know, chunk, or red and grey block, or you know, relief sort of things. And you can see this here is densely packed with layers and layers of built up paint. And then actually, I mean, in certain cases that they actually become sort of sculptural. I mean, this sort of slab here is a golden lump of, actually in this case it's acrylic paint, but here I was thinking about the God, it's heavy. Hang on, I'm going to put that back down again. I'm going to put it on the floor because it's going to knock itself off the table. I was thinking about the ways in which paint is built up as a sort of archaeological layers, and so if you were to cut those into two, you'd be able to see the strata, as it were. And well, what else can I say about this? Not a lot, really. Wow, look at that lovely bit of yellow over there. Ooh, the yellow and blue. Ooh, love it.